There we go. All right. So Clary Icon is a division of Clary Company. Clary Company is headquartered in San Diego, California, and we've been in business for over 40 years. We were excited about 3 years ago to launch Clary Icon OneScreen products at InfoComm. Won't go. So today, we're here to discuss OneScreen SoftServe. SoftServe is an all-in-one video collaboration software as a service. So of course what this means is SoftServe is a cloud-based solution, a solution that can be loaded onto your 60-inch, 70-inch, 80-inch large format touchscreen in a conference room, a huddle room, a boardroom. Could also be loaded onto a desktop, a smaller laptop. Could also potentially be loaded onto a Nook-like device and connected to your screen from there. So specifically, what do we mean by all-in-one video collaboration? Well, in short, it means access to any collaboration tool, any data with anyone in just one touch. Because as Kim mentioned, OneScreen provides both video conferencing, audio conferencing, web conferencing, and interactive whiteboarding all from OneScreen. And because it's Windows-based, of course, you have access to the Internet as well as your network. Additionally, OneScreen is compatible with existing collaboration software and applications that are out there in the industry already. For instance, Microsoft Lync, Skype, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Adobe Connect. So obviously the big idea here is about options, and it's about choice. So users can choose the tools that they need in any given unique meeting situation, presentation, training, sales engagement. They can, from a single screen, choose any of the tools that they need to communicate and collaborate. That being said, I think it's important that we, to help communicate the value of OneScreen, we talk a little bit about the communication and collaboration marketplace. The communication and collaboration landscape is full of hundreds of companies, all operating in silos and creating terrific products, but they are creating these products in silos. Silos that may include video conferencing software as a service, interactive display, video conferencing, audio conferencing, web conferencing. But what the OneScreen team understands is that from a user's perspective, silos don't work so well. What we know is that users tend to need all of these collaboration devices and products to work not only at the same time, but they need to work together. And that's where OneScreen comes in. So from the get-go, our approach is actually very different.
So Kelly, I did get a question.
Clary Icon.
So can it connect with an H.323 based system?
Yes. Was that a yes or no question?
It can be a yes or no question if you'd like to elaborate.
Well, and I touch on that. I'll touch on that just a little bit later too. So the answer is yes, and we'll get to that a little bit later.
Awesome.
So our approach is a user-centric approach. We design for people and performance-centric usage. We are interested in enabling use. We're interested in minimizing a learning curve and delivering a very simple, flexible, accessible solution, which we know is what most users out there now demand. Whereas what we see our competitors doing is approaching design from a far more technology-centric approach. And oftentimes technology wins out over user need. And there's just a whole lot of complexity being built out there in the communication and collaboration marketplace. And what the OneScreen team understands is that what we don't need is another complex technology, but instead a solution that removes the barriers between these technologies and actually facilitates productivity and facilitates innovation. So now that we have just a little bit of context around the promise of OneScreen, let's get in a little bit deeper into how that's delivered. So as a virtual unified collaboration hub built on open architecture, OneScreen provides centralized access to all of your communication collaboration work tools. It also opens up options instead of forcing standardization, moving more toward a bring your own technology perspective, if you will. It offers a simple, consistent interface that can be deployed across the organization, from the conference room screens to desktops and laptops and tablets. This means there's this on-demand availability of a common user interface, a common user experience that's intuitive to use. Simple, flexible, and accessible. Again, OneScreen comes from that user-centric perspective. We feel like that's really important to keep business going. OneScreen offers a walk up and work simplicity, if you will, or sit down and work, or open up and work. You can work from any device, and it certainly encourages fluidity, that natural workflow from tool to tool in any given meeting when we need to move from potentially video to sharing content to pulling in content from our network, etc. All that can happen fluidly from a single screen. OneScreen is customizable for your choice of applications. Again, we're not forcing standardization, and so we can actually customize for a single touch to your choice of application or tool. OneScreen enables and encourages ad hoc meetings and on-the-fly collaboration. When workers have access to all the tools that they need at any given point in time, there's really no reason that a meeting needs to be postponed because we have to send a document, or we have to get a document, or we can't get a technology device to work. And potentially one of the most important ways that OneScreen helps business keep going is our live on-demand Screen Skills Guru option. This is something that we haven't seen anyone else offer in the industry so far, and we feel like it's a really important feature to allow users of OneScreen to have one touch away assistance for technology questions or customer support questions. We'll touch on that a little bit more later. Also, OneScreen is deliberately built for ease of use, quality, and affordability. Again, there's a user-centric design that we start with. OneScreen is interoperable with your existing investments in your UC&C tools. We can control bandwidth for quality with OneScreen. Of course, it's a SaaS model, so there's no infrastructure to purchase. There's a low monthly cost per user. BTX has set the cost at $1,595 per year. So if there aren't any questions with things so far, then let's move into some user scenario examples. This could be a corporate scenario or even a higher ed user scenario where there's one screen on a device, a large format screen in a lecture hall, and there are attendees joining from multiple devices from multiple locations as well as in-room. So they're sharing content and video at one time, joining from multiple devices, and each one has a customized view. So again, what OneScreen understands is that every meeting, every presentation, every lecture is unique and needs a different set of tools per meeting, and that's where OneScreen comes through. Another potential user scenario could be a remote guest speaker, also including remote and in-room participants, all of whom are seeing content, sharing content, annotating and exchanging, engaging in real time. We did want to get a little bit into some differentiating features for the OneScreen. Not go into too much depth, but there are a few things that we needed to let you know about. And one of those is that OneScreen video conferencing allows up to 99 video call participants on a point-to-point call and up to 4 on a multi-user call using SIP and H323. It affords instant, unlimited screen data and app share, so there's a lot of sharing and exchanging that can go on all the time. Offers annotation, instant messaging, and recording. OneScreen video conferencing is a presence-based user interface, so all users can see communities and groups and see the contacts in those communities if they're online, if they're in a meeting, if they're available. There's call scheduler, call reminder, call customization. Of course, a very secure exchange, which is a little bit different from some of the free options out there today. As we touched on before, OneScreen can be customized for single-touch access to other applications that you may have already standardized on, for instance, WebEx or Connect. We can integrate your contacts, for example, from Skype. And as we mentioned, Clariacon partners with Hitachi Starboard for our interactive whiteboard software, which is unparalleled in the industry, in our opinion, which is why we chose them. And Starboard offers a multi-presenter option up to 50 different participants in a whiteboarding conference, if you will, as long as everyone has the Starboard software.
So Kelly, somebody just asked the best question. He said,
okay.
why then are we not using OneScreen for this meeting? I think that's very clever, very good.
I think that's a question for you, Kim.
It is a question for me. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we used GoToWebinar so we could, even though OneScreen has recording capabilities, this was a real presentation. We wanted to make sure everybody got their feet just a little wet. But in the next couple of weeks, we are going to do the same exact meeting using OneScreen. So please come back, everybody, so that you can see the application in action. So thank you for that question.
Terrific. All right. So probably one of the most important areas to touch on is, of course, how does OneScreen impact my business? And our perspective on that is that when teams have that unbridled access, if you will, to the communication and collaboration tools that they need from a centralized screen without concern for connectivity and the technology that goes on behind the screen, if you will, then they're at a point where they can far more fully realize the benefit and the business impact of interactive real-time collaboration. Here's some of those. Better coworker interaction and stronger team bonding. I can say that I work with OneScreen every day, and I have a team that spans around the world from many different states in the U.S. as well as countries around the world, and all of my teams are a click away. We have night shifts, day shifts, so there's certainly always somebody available, and I know when they're available and can get to them in a single touch. It feels like they're around the corner in the same building. Greater operational efficiencies, greater work productivity, more informed decision making based on increased communication. One that's pretty important in my book, improved identification and access to internal and external expertise, actually. So when suddenly there's immediate access to my entire organization, I find out that there are folks that are at my that are there to support me, that are closer than I think, if they're a touch away, and they can support my success from their division because I can get to them far more easily, as well as invite external expertise into our meetings easily and immediately. Better customer relations. I know we've all learned a whole lot recently about the value of video conferencing, and now more with video conferencing as well as content sharing at the same time. Faster turnaround times, unbridled innovation, faster time to market, and of course reduced costs.
So Kelly, we had somebody else ask again about doing a live demo, which is really very good. So what we'll end up doing, to those of you who are interested, is make sure that we invite everybody to register with us. And then there is, like Kelly mentioned in the last slide, it's instant access. You just have to download what amounts to as an app, right, Kelly? It's just a little app on your laptop or your computer, correct?
I'm sorry, say that one more time, Kim.
So when we want to do the demo for using OneScreen, There's just what amounts to an app that you download. So everybody, up to 99 of us, will be able to do that, and I'll join a webinar. So again, that invite will be coming in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, super. Okay. So we wanted to give you an idea of the companies out there that currently love OneScreen. We have customers across multiple sectors, from federal government, local government, corporate, and education, mostly in higher education at this point. K-12 is growing. So here we are at kind of the end of this slide portion of the presentation, and what we want to share about what OneScreen knows is that if we can't get to what we call return on engagement, which means that our people, our organizations and our people are actually using and leveraging the communication and collaboration tools that we provide for them, we can't get to the return on investment, because we do know that business happens when people and technology work fluidly together. And Clary Icon deliberately builds OneScreen with simplicity and high quality and at an affordable price for that specific reason. Any other questions before we walk through a bit of a quick overview of a demo?
Yeah.
Right. So you're
yeah,
looking
there
at
is,
my.
Kelly.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. What's the difference between OneScreen and Blue Jeans?
Blue Jeans is, there are a few at a base level. Blue Jeans is a video conferencing software as a service, and provides, I believe, some annotation capabilities. They are also cloud-based. I don't know if they have on-premise or not. What they don't provide is access to all the other tools that your team might potentially need in any given meeting or sales presentation or training. They provide video conferencing. So we would definitely be able to go into a little bit more, spec to spec. If we could get you into a demo, we'd be thrilled if you call your BTX rep and we can get you an in-depth demonstration and discuss that. I see another potential question popping up.
Yeah. How do you access OneScreen? Is it an annual license?
Say it again.
How do you access OneScreen, and is it an annual license?
It is an annual license, and it's a software as a service, so it can be, it's a cloud-based system, but it can also be on-premise if you choose. So it sits on your desktop. Alan, were you going to add something?
I was just going to add something. I'm not sure because it was a little muffled. The first question about what's the difference between Blue Jeans and OneScreen. One huge difference is Screen Skills Guru on-demand help.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting question. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I less muddled?
Yes, I can hear you.
You're good, I think.
Okay, great. Is OneScreen encrypted to comply with HIPAA for medical use?
I believe it is.
Yeah, that's a great question. The transmissions certainly are encrypted. So and so I agree with Kelly. I believe it is HIPAA compliant as well.
Excellent. All right, Kelly, I think we can move into the live demo portion. Thank you.
So what you're seeing is the monitor on my desktop. This is a 20-inch screen, and I drive it with a mouse and a keyboard. So it's not a touch screen, although OneScreen works terrifically with touchscreen as well. What you might notice, first of all, is that you only see 3 icons, while in the presentation you may have seen 4 on this launch screen. As I mentioned, it's customizable. So I can go in here and quickly show you that I can add and delete icons up to 5. You can customize these icons, of course. We discussed earlier the idea of web conferencing and other choices that your team may want to have for web conferencing and maybe even video conferencing. We can show you. We preloaded here with a few options: Skype, Adobe Connect, Microsoft Link, WebEx. This is where that integration happens, And this is where as we discussed, your contacts can be integrated as well. And even this icon, if you choose to, maybe your company has standardized on WebEx, you could drop in a WebEx logo on this icon so that your team knows, at the click of a mouse, that they're going to be connected to WebEx. The Hitachi Interactive Whiteboard, the Starboard software here again, can accommodate up to 50 different participants in any given whiteboarding conference, if you will. Also, of course, drop in presentations for annotation. There's customizable search. I don't know if we need to go too deep into that today, but we can certainly do more in a full demo. This is the video conferencing. We can show you the OneScreen video conferencing. Now you can see the OneScreen video conferencing user interface where you can, as I mentioned, I have presence-based user interface, so I know who's online, I know who's available, I know who's in a meeting. I've got quick access to schedulers, to recorders, to sharing, to people. And this is the Screen Skills Guru button. A single click here will pull up a video window, and we're immediately connected to our tech and customer support team to ask any type of question we need to keep our meetings going, keep our presentation going. So,
do you want to take a couple of questions?
Yeah, that would be great. If people have a few questions.
So somebody asked about language support. Is there language support other than English?
There is. At this point in time, I believe there are 27.
Okay. Great, great. All right, somebody's going back to the HIPAA conversation. So in a scenario where there are large numbers of patients in consulting rooms or huddle rooms, what keeps the content shared within the patient secure from other patients in the room where wireless devices such as tablets are used?
I know that I can't answer the specifics to the technology behind that, but we can certainly, unless Alan has an idea, we can certainly get an answer to that.
I barely heard the question. It was a little muddled this time, but I'd rather defer. Maybe if someone can type it in, we can respond to it later today.
All right, sure. All right, well, we'll get back with that answer about keeping patient information secure from other people in a huddle room, if there are multiple huddle rooms. Okay?
Super.
So here we go. Can one screen start page be integrated into a touch screen to set on a table?
Yes, it could.
Okay. Awesome. And I think you can go ahead and continue. Thanks.
It's a PC-based, I'm sorry, a Windows-based system.
Was the question about a touch table?
So presuming that that table, right, is connected to...
Oh, like a Windows 7 platform, yeah.
With a Windows 7, correct.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Kelly.
No problem. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Kim.
Yeah, actually, questions are continuing to come in. Is there an iPad or Android app?
OneScreen is both iPad and Android customizable, or I'm sorry, compatible. So the answer is yes.
Great. All right, so I am going to then take back control. I'm going to share. I'm going to make sure that everybody can actually see. Can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I can see it fine.
So now if you can hear me, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So now that we have a better understanding about the power of OneScreen, we'd like to let everybody know that BTX provides a bundled hardware solution, which includes the hardware software, the OneScreen software, a Nook computer, along with the keyboard, mouse, and cabling. The solution is optimized to work seamlessly together when you are in need of a hardware solution. We also offer advanced replacement warranties on all of our bundles and appliances, so you can have the peace of mind that if there's an issue in the field, a replacement can be sent out that same day. And as we were discussing, we're going to do another webinar using OneScreen so everybody can see what it would be like in a larger meeting. Plus, there's a 30-day trial of OneScreen, and I'll be sending out that link so that everybody can try it out on their own. So I think I saw a couple more questions come in, but I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today, and thank you, Kelly and Alan. Let's look and see what questions. Nope, that was actually it. Somebody was just saying thank you. So we did record this session, so if you'd like to share it with anybody that you work with or with any of your customers, that's also quite fine, of course. And Kelly, do you have anything else? Or Alan, anything else to share?
So thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. Reach out to BTX and let us give you a full demo.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day. And again, those on the East Coast, please stay warm and dry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.